AI is going to replace you, just not in the way you think it is. Because I analyzed all the six-figure earners from the Fullstack Editor Club and found something crazy. Something they all had in common. Something that also really blew my mind. Because what I found was almost a bit too simple to believe, to be honest. I found out that the difference between people that are struggling at 1 to 2K per month and the people that are at 10K per month and beyond isn't talent. It's one shift how you approach your workflow, and once you make it, everything changes. This is literally natural selection playing out in real time, because the editors who adapt to AI aren't just surviving, they're dominating. And the ones resisting it, they're basically being pulled out of the market one lost client at a time. Because in the end, it comes down to one question: how many client videos can you deliver per week without burning out? Because here's the thing, if you can only deliver 5 reels per week, it doesn't matter how great the quality is, you're capped. But what if you could deliver 10 or maybe 15 high quality reels per week? That's going to make you stand out from the rest of your competition. And that's exactly what I'm going to show you in this video. I'll break down the exact content strategies top creators use to go viral, because tools mean nothing if your content sucks. And I'll also show you how to incorporate AI into your workflow the right way. I'm not going to advise you any gimmicks or expensive tools, because by the end of this video, you'll know something only 10K per month video editors know. But before I show you all of this, let's start with the basics. Real quick, let me show you what's actually performing right now. Maybe you already noticed it. There's zero complex transitions, no over-edited After Effects animations, just clean cuts, captions, and good pacing. And I'm showing you this because you might see some of the edits I do on this channel and think, if I could only animate like this, then I would be able to earn 10K per month. But the reality is you don't need to be a motion designer god to make money with short form. Not that I am, but just for the sake of the argument. Because you need volume and quality. And that's where most editors get stuck. And if you look at Gary Vee or Alex Hormozi, they've been hammering the same message for years. Volume beats perfection. Post more, do more. And guess what? Every creator and business owner heard that. Which means that clients aren't asking for one perfect reel per week anymore. So let's say you need to deliver 7 to 14 reels per week, which is realistic with most creators that want to grow these days. You could or do it the traditional route, importing the footage, cutting some space away, cutting some retakes, adding some captions, maybe adjusting some timing, and then exporting. And if you're fast, that's great. But let's say even if you're fast, you probably take 2 to 3 hours per reel. That's 6 hours for 2 reels every single day. Now multiply that by 7 days a week and you're spending 42 hours just on editing. At $50 per reel, that's $2,800 per month. And don't get me wrong, $2,800 per month isn't bad money when you're starting, but you've already hit the ceiling. You're working full-time hours with zero room to grow, because you can't take more clients, you can't raise your rates, and the second you also factor in revisions, client feedback, and communications, you're probably working 50 to 60 hours per week. And trust me, that's not a path to 10K, that's a path to burnout. So what if I told you you can streamline your workflow where tasks that used to take hours now only take a few minutes? And then let's say instead of spending 42 hours per week editing 14 reels, you probably only spend a couple of hours, but with the same output. And then the 2.8K per month can also become 10K, while also saving time. Let me show you Submagic. I've showed you Submagic before, but this is really the tool that I'm using to save 90% of my time editing all these boring videos. And I'm not exaggerating. So I'm just logged into my secret account because I don't want to show you all my clients. See, I trust a lot of people, but not everyone. I know some of you guys go after my clients. Anyway, let's go back to Submagic. Let's create a project, and then to generate just some captions of a reel that I already made, I just use the generate captions feature. This already saves a lot of time, trust me. But the magic clips feature is also so great. You can just grab a YouTube video. This can also be from a potential. This can also be from your client. You just need the YouTube link. So for example, we click on this, and we can also use this sample video for now. You can click on that, or you can just put in the URL of your client or of your potential client. It generates a bunch of shorts. Now, are these perfect? No. Are these all good? No. And this is also where the strategy comes into play. You see, I really believe that as an editor, nowadays you need to also know the strategy. You need to know what content works and what doesn't. You can't just focus on the little tiny animation techniques. You also need to become like a content strategist, because that's how you stand out and how you're still valuable in 2026. Anyway, let's go back to these reels, and I'm just gonna pick one. For example, I miss hugging my mom. It also has the highest score. Super interesting. It is 19 seconds, nice length. Let's start with this one. I'm gonna hit edit, and then we'll see the bread and butter of Submagic, the caption. And as you can see, we've got a bunch of styles that we can pick of all these famous creators. Hormozi's in here, Ali Abdallah's in here, Imangaji is in here. Let me know in the comments how many you know. I'm gonna pick the Hormozi 3 style. Why not? We can change the font, we can change the colors here, we can change the positioning. And if you want to know where you want to put your captions, you can also click on the display options and then turn the app interface on. I love this feature because then I can at least see if my captions are not under the UI interface. Trust me, when you do this manually, you probably do this so many times. And we can also see a bit the font size. Now we can also adjust it even more by going into the customize feature. Then we can change the font color, stroke weight, shadow, all of these things. Now you might think, oh, this is a bit too boring. Well, that can be. And we can go into the AI tools and we can add magic B-roll and zooms. And the name says it already, it's quite magic. Basically the zooms is super nice because it just keeps the engagement high. And a B-roll is a nice feature to just add some footage over it just to increase the engagement rate. So for example, if we enable the magic B-roll, it will already add it to it. It will analyze it. And then we can click on the magic B-roll feature and then we can hit generate. We can of course first select if we want free videos or premium videos, or enable a transition. I'm gonna disable the transitions, percentage of magic, 50%, all good. Let's generate. There we go. Now, are all of these B-rolls great? Is this video now magically performing well and a great video? No, you still have to go through it and make your creative decisions. So we can click on edit B-roll and we can change the asset. We can change the position, we can delete it, but at least you're not spending 30 minutes on stock websites or AI websites to find the right video. Now, I'm also going to show you that magic zoom feature. I also really like this because instead of setting all of these manual keyframes, we can just click on magic zooms and it will add it to the B-roll, but also to the A-roll. Let's turn the magic B-rolls off for now so we can also see the magic zooms more correctly. As you can see, it zooms in. Now, this is a low res preview, of course, so in the export it will look a bit nicer. We also see these emojis flying through the screen. I don't really like that, but it is engaging. We can't argue that. But we can actually also turn that off in the caption feature. So in the captions, if we go into the customization option of the Hormozi, you can also see the animation, you can see the auto emoji. So we can also turn the auto emoji to none. So we don't have any emojis. And of course, you can also change our colors to be the brand colors. And now that we're going through this video, I might not like everything in this video. Maybe I don't really like this part where it's zooming in on our face, or maybe this weird B-roll that is in the video. Why not cut that out? And of course you can trim it, but there is also a trim feature. So let's go into trim. And this is quite a new feature. It's really, really handy. I'm happy that Submagic added this. Basically what we can do, we can just go through our clips. If we don't like a part, we can just select that text and delete that. We can even see the transcript of this whole podcast. So if we're like, hey, you know what, maybe we need a bit of an intro. So for example, I'm about to interview Meta's CEO, the Zuck. We can add that to the selection. And as you can see, we'll just add as a clip. Or if I don't like a certain word, we can just remove it from the selection, just like that, just by clicking and removing it. Of course, there's also a remove silence feature, which is really handy. So if there's like some breaks between it, I mean, this podcast probably already cut it out. Maybe you recorded a short with a lot of silence in the video. You can just remove the silences. Not only that, in the AI tools, there's also a remove bad takes feature. Because if you're like me and you want to do a retake, not everything goes well. Guys, not everything is perfect. This video is edited. This feature comes in really, really handy. All right, let's see how long this actually took. I just checked it, 20 minutes. Like from raw footage to an export ready video, I think there's probably already like a 90% time reduction. And I didn't sacrifice quality. If anything, this is even better than what I was making manually because I'm using proven viral templates and adding layers I'd normally skip because they took too long. I used to spend way too much time on fixing the captions or getting the animation of the captions right. And here's the mindset shift you really need to understand is that the AI doesn't replace editors. It replaces the slow, repetitive work that keeps you from scaling. Because you still need creativity, you still need taste, as I showed you before. You still need to understand storytelling, pacing, what makes a hook work, what makes people keep watching, what makes a video shareable, or maybe people want to save the video. But you don't need to spend 20 minutes manually adjusting captions. And you also don't need to add 200 keyframes to a single project. So you can focus on the part that actually makes you valuable, the strategy, the creative decisions, the stuff clients can't do themselves. But there is a thing that most people screw up. they get a tool like Submagic, start pumping out content and wonder why it's not getting views. Because like I already mentioned, tools don't fix bad content. So let me show you what actually works in 2026. The first rule is that your hook is everything. You have 3 seconds and that's it. So if someone doesn't know what they're getting in those first 3 seconds, they scroll. A bad hook, for example, would be, hey guys, today I'm gonna show you. Whereas a good hook is, I found a plugin, every editor is gatekeeping. I hope you can see the difference. One just wastes some time and the other teases the value immediately. Second rule, pattern interrupts. Every 3 to 5 seconds, something on screen needs to change. That can be a zoom, a cut, new B-roll, maybe a caption effect. And this isn't about like it being super flashy. It's about keeping attention because our brains are wired to notice change, and when nothing changes, we just zone out. And that's why those features are in Submagic, for example, those auto zooms and the B-rolls, but you still need to understand why it works so you can make creative decisions. The third rule is end with a cliffhanger or a clear call to action. I think it's super stupid to just let your video end. You can either tease what's coming next or tell the people exactly what to do. For example, part 2 drops tomorrow. Try this in your next edit. Let me know how it goes. Because then you give them a reason to engage, which is good for the algorithm, or come back. And by the way, I just wanted to say that using Submagic doesn't make you an editor overnight. It doesn't. But if you already know what you're doing, if you understand pacing, storytelling, what makes a video engaging, then this is really the fastest way to scale. Because at the end of the day, the editors that are making 10K, 20K, 50K per month, they're not working 10 times harder than you. They just figured out how to deliver 10 times more without sacrificing quality. And I really see that this is the game now, just speed and volume. So what I recommend, if you're serious about scaling your editing business or your own content, try Submagic. You can just like try it out. There's a link in the description. Just upload a video, see how long it takes you, and then compare it to your current workflow. And if it doesn't save you hours every week, don't use it. But if it does, and I'm quite sure it will, then start thinking bigger. Because the bottleneck isn't your skill anymore, it's your time. And once you remove that bottleneck, literally everything changes. Drop a comment what you're working on. Don't forget to subscribe. Then thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.